Hello. I've been asked to speak for a few minutes at this Planet in Crisis event. Unfortunately, I can't speak to you live because I'll be fast asleep when the actual event is occurring in the Eurozone. But I did want to address you. This is the subject that I speak most about. I could say I know it like the back of my hand. Unfortunately, our planet is in dire crisis. The pastoral Oregon coast that you see behind me does not really show you, does not even intimate the crisis that we are in. Here's a more recent view. This is the smoke from the West Coast fires, from the Oregon fires from this year, 2020, as viewed from Portland, Oregon. The smoke spread across the United States from all of these fires in clouds that made the sky black. In Minnesota, where I was at the Mayo Clinic, we are destroying the planet at an unprecedented rate. One of many, many views of the California fires at the same time. Another highlighting the cost to human infrastructure, to human lives, lives destroyed, not necessarily people killed, hopefully, but an incredible toll in terms of human suffering. We have brought this on ourselves, make no mistake about it. From a few years ago, a different sort of threat in the UK, when the only road connecting the south of England became inundated by water. That road was washed away. Why? Why are we doing this? That can be answered in a single word. We're doing it for money. We are allowing the forces of greed. We are allowing the economic system that has been foisted upon us, an earth-destructive economic system. We have permitted it to become the paradigm by which we operate, almost unquestioned. What do? We go off to work. Why? To make money, to create money so that we can pay our rents and our interest to the banks. I used to say that we are either each working to pay off our loans or someone else's loans. And that has become more serious in many parts of the world now with the COVID epidemic upon us and livelihoods threatened, especially in the dumb as can be United States. I say dumb as can be. Why? Because we're led by a kleptocrat, someone who is willing to throw all of us and all future generations under the bus for the sake of his own wealth and power. Donald Trump, God willing, will be voted out in an election that is occurring even while I speak. Perhaps the results will be known by the time this is aired. It may not be, because Trump actually installed a postmaster general whose assignment it was to interfere with the election. We are talking about incredible corruption at the highest levels. What can we do about it? That's the question. The answer is everything, everything possible. I'm going to show you a diagram. A colleague of mine, Mark McCaffrey, will also be giving a talk. called Powers of 10. His analysis with colleagues was that the various interventions that exist by which we might begin to turn things around all need to be scaled. That is, you need to understand which can be done by you alone, by you and a small handful of people, by you and a large group of people, by you and your city or your locale or your nation if it's an enlightened nation. And so the powers of 10, P0 refers to the mathematical term 10 to the 0 power, which is 1. P0 interventions are things that you can do. Write letters. Call your political leaders who should be leading on the climate issue, but are not. Why? Because they are beholden to the economic powers that reign and not to their citizenry. Once every 4 or 6 years, they need to trick us all by investing huge sums of money into an electoral process where you buy votes legally, and perhaps not so legally, by advertising. There's a huge political industry that feeds across, breaking us onto separate communities that will then fight one another. This is a dominant meme in the United States, where the left and right have never been further apart. Quite intentional, manipulated by the economic forces that reign, because it's incredibly lucrative to pit one party against another. We are all in this together, make no mistake. So write your elected officials, call your elected officials, demonstrate, go down and lock yourself to their chamber doors if necessary. The Extinction Rebellion holds a great place in my esteem and honor. Now they have done some things that have been questionable, but by and large, the Extinction Rebellion is right on. The Extinction Rebellion, we're going up into perhaps P4 or P5. That is, a P4 solution, a P4 intervention is a one with 4 zeros, 10,000 people. The demonstrations in London, where 5 of the crossings of the Thames River were taken over and paralyzed for a day, that was perhaps a P5 solution, a one with 5 zeros, 100,000 people. We need to find the groups that are doing the most and join with them so that the power of the individual is multiplied by the strength and the anger of the masses of people who understand how we, our children, and all future generations are being thrown under the bus for the sake of wealth and power, for the corruption, the endemic corruption, the legal corruption that exists in our current system. Our current economic system, which correctly should be called neoclassical growth economics, is grinding the earth and all of its natural resources into money as fast as possible. Forgive me for having to move left and right for you to see the entire image. So don't feel disheartened. As we used to say, don't get angry, get even. I'm not talking about spiteful acts. I'm talking about courageous acts. I'm talking about things that you owe it to yourself, your family, to all of life on earth to do. We, the people, must arise against our leaders. not through violence, but through orderly demonstration. God bless Greta Thunberg, whom I had the pleasure and honor of introducing to the world press in Poland in late 2018. You go, Greta, a young Joan of Arc who tells it like it is, who has no fear of what people will think of her, who has nothing to lose that hasn't already been taken from her. I also have very little to lose. I have stage 4 cancer. I'm willing to do anything possible to try to help turn the tide. Recording this for you is the least I can do. So thank you very much for listening, for attending this seminar, for taking the spirit that it transmits and going forward with it in whatever manner you can. Thank you.